Okay, thanks everybody for being with us here today. We run a fairly relaxed conference, so one thing I want to add to Carolyn's introduction is that if you want to get up and walk around, if you need to, it's quite warm in this room. It's usually sort of naturally filled with the wind. But so if you need to get up, because I reckon if I was sitting here like this in the afternoon, I would be falling asleep. So you might need to get up and walk around and go outside, and that's okay. We're okay with that. So do whatever you need to do. If you do need to take a call, make a call, just pop yourself outside. That is totally fine. So there we go. But today, as Carolyn mentioned, we've got a mix of old and we've got a mix of new. What we're presenting today are some of our updates in the Tourism Marketing Plan Blueprint. So a little bit of history. We kind of, as Carolyn said, developed the product based on a need for a tourism marketing plan that doesn't cost $20,000. So 80% of the information was pretty much the same for everybody because we're all in the same industry. We all face the same challenges. We're all facing the same marketing changes, the same landscape. So that's why we developed this product. So we thought it was just going to be a one-hit wonder, but actually it's kind of evolved. People love it because we just kind of do the work for you, and we are updating you every year with trends, and so that's what today is all about. So we're getting quite a few updates. So yes, we have done the persona presentation for quite a few years, but today we're going to talk about the changing evolution of millennials, for example, how they're changing. So yeah, it's still kind of the same but different, if you like. So here we go. Today I'm starting with artificial intelligence, which is a bit mean if you haven't had a hardcore coffee yet. So sorry about that, but
there is tea and coffee there if you'd like some.
And if you want coffee, the girls can run out and get you a real one too. So that's what we asked them to do for us. So this morning I was getting ready, and one of my daughters, I have 3 daughters, and is that a groan or? Yes, I agree. And one of my 8-year-old twins said, "Mum, what are you doing at the conference today?" And I said, what do I tell her? I said, "Oh, I'm starting to talk about artificial intelligence." And she said, "I don't like AI." I went, "What?" And she said, "It follows you around." I'm like, "You're 8." I said, "How did you know about that?" And she said...
This is Daisy, isn't it?
Daisy, yes, yes. Daisy's a nerd. She's just a born nerd. She said, "Oh, I saw it on BTN behind the news." Did you guys used to watch that? Yeah. Oh my God. So it's still going. I mean, I know it's there, but I'm like, wow. So, and she said, "Yeah, it's like Google Now and Google Voice and all that stuff." And I went, "Yeah, do you want to come? Do you want to do my presentation?" So it's quite surprising. So 8-year-olds are digital natives. All this stuff is completely normal. They are using voice. They know what a chatbot is. They know all of this stuff. So I find it really fascinating. But anyway,
we're hiring Daisy out to do people's coding for them as well.
Yeah, she does coding and stuff. It's weird. So basically, what today's about and what this morning's about is about setting the scene. And AI forms the basis of 3 of my presentations today. So this one's all about semantic search and AI and the role that it plays in marketing and tourism. And we're going to move into voice and also chatbots because they are executions of artificial intelligence in their own right. So AI is sort of like an all-encompassing word. And lots of things come under that. So, even 8-year-olds know that. So today, this morning, I want you to channel your inner nerd. Okay? You look worried, Lucy. Because I'm going to make you love this language, machine learning, artificial intelligence, semantic search, because if you embrace these words and these concepts, you are going to be winners in marketing. And that's essentially what it's all about. This is what it is. Now, marketing has changed. Over the last 4 years, it's changed more than ever. And that is because Google changed its algorithms. About 4 years ago, it wasn't just an algorithm update, it was an algorithm overhaul Google completely changed the way that they work. They completely changed the way that the internet works. So if you think about previously, you know, we all knew about keywords, links, keyword stuffing. Basically, the biggest pockets would win. And, you know, we had companies like Expedia and all those, you know, big guys got into lots and lots of trouble and lost lots of traction. So what semantic search is all about is it's intuitive search. It's trying to provide the best answers to the questions that, you know, to the people searching on the internet. Now, we have been talking about this for, how many years, Carolyn?
5.
4 or 5 years.
I get to the point I'm like, surely everyone knows by now, but they don't.
I published this white paper 4 years ago. And people's eyes just glazed over. And this is all in your little show bags, along with a lolly bag too if you need a sugar hit. So yeah, this was published and written by me about 4 years ago, and it's starting to happen now. So the only people that were really that excited 4 years ago about it were nerds in America and Bulgaria and people I know on Google Plus who I've never met in person. You're laughing. But they were really excited about it. So now hopefully you guys can be a bit excited about it because it's coming to fruition now. So it's all about the travel industry meets semantic search, which is, you know, artificial intelligence. So what I love about this is that it's, you know, the industrial revolution of our time. So 2017 is the new 1760. This is absolutely massive. We will never ever be here again. Such is the importance of what Google did. So when they changed to this algorithm, it was so big. So previously we already had Yahoo on it, we had Bing on it, and then once Google switched over, everybody was on semantic search. So essentially, that's where we're at now. So, but yeah, really, really important. We will never be here again. So the next few years, you really have an opportunity to cement your brand, your business, your destination in marketing on the internet that we will never have again in our lifetime. So it's huge. I've been saying that for 4 years, but I think people have been ignoring me. So I think I've gone through all that. And one other thing that I love about this is that it puts big and small on a level playing field as well. And smaller businesses and destinations have the luxury of being able to move a little more quickly too than bigger businesses. So that's what's really exciting about it. Okay. Yep. So what is semantic search? So I guess this execution of artificial intelligence is, you know, semantic search. So essentially, I want you to think about if I'm sitting in my lounge room and I'm thinking about going on a holiday, I type in holiday to Thailand, which is something that I've done very recently because I'm going to Thailand on Sunday. So what Google does is it wants to find the most relevant, most helpful, most appropriate page to me, Bronwyn White. Okay, and so what it knows about me is that I'm Bronwyn. It probably knows I've got 3 kids. See, it's following me. It knows everything about me, as Daisy said. It knows where I'm located
I
at that
think
point
Google
in
knows
time.
more about me than Andy knows about me.
Yes, it's probably true. So it knows your IP address. It knows all about your previous search history. It knows I've probably searched for things about, you know, family accommodation. It probably knows that I've done, you know, I like apartments, self-contained apartments. It knows all these things about me. So what it wants to do is give me the most appropriate pages. So Google goes off and tries to find the most appropriate pages for me. So Google does not know what to present to me unless there's content on your pages. And this is the other side of artificial intelligence and machine learning. So it's collected all that information. It knows my social media behaviour, what I share, what I talk about. It knows Bronwyn White. It knows my preferences, all these things. So it needs to know about you too. It needs to know about the destinations and the businesses to know what to present to me. and it can't do that without content. So what happens now, each time you publish a piece of content, is that the machine learning algorithms driven by artificial intelligence kind of crawl through and gradually get to know your business or your destination, gradually gets to know what you're all about. The more you publish content, the more it understands you, and therefore it's going to trust you enough to present you in a search. So your role in the next few years is to garner trust, reputation and authority in the eyes of Google. So Google needs to trust you enough to present you to me sitting in the lounge room. And what's interesting about this and semantic search is that, you know, what's on page 1 of Google for me is going to be completely different to my next door neighbours, who are a gay couple who love luxury, who, you know, we are their biggest nightmares when they go on holidays. They don't want to be anywhere near us. Mind you, I would like to go away with them by myself. But yeah, so Google would show them a completely different set of pages and preferences and destinations and holidays. You know, they might show them premium economy business class instead of economy class, a whole range of things. So the implications of this, what happened a few years ago, is what's on page 1 of Google is completely different for every person, every desktop, every laptop, every mobile device. It's dependent on your search history, who you are, where you are at the time of day even, you know, if we're talking about things like weather. So why is this relevant? I mean, you all know this in the room. The internet is used at every single stage of the traveller path to purchase. And we'll probably talk about this a little bit later on. So anywhere from dreaming, but right through to post-holiday sharing when they're sharing information on social media. The internet is used in destination. It's really, really important to think about, if you're a destination here, optimising your destination for semantic search for travellers when they're there in destination, because travellers use their mobile phones more when they're away than they do at home, believe it or not. So as I mentioned before, your goal, actually just forever now, not just the next 12 months, is to build that trust, reputation and authority. And how do we do that? Through content. So that those machine learning algorithms can get to know you over and over. The more published content that, hi. Oh, awesome. So, you know, I'm not talking about you have to write a 1,000 word blog piece every day. It's just being active. It's just refreshing your content on the internet. It's just, you know, anything from images. I mean, we work in travel. We are so lucky. We're not washing powder. I mean, we say this as travel researchers. We do have a great job. You know, we've naturally got fabulous
With apologies
views.
to the TA people in the room, we think we have the best job in the world.
Yes, we're pretty lucky. So, you know, Google can read your photos, and these machine learning algorithms can read your photos, your images that you're uploading. So that's content. And there's no excuse for a destination or, you know, someone in the tourism industry not to upload photos every single day. I mean, you know, what do you click and share now? It's really, really easy. So we like to deliver a little bit of tough love now to our clients when people say, oh, I don't have time. You do have time. So publish content as much as you can, so that each time you publish that piece of content, Google will get to know you more, it will trust you more, it will present you more in a search as it gets to know you. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more around branding and personas. They play a big role in semantic search as well. So as David Amland, one of my favourite nerds, he authored a book called Google Semantic Search, says that the gap between online and offline is getting smaller. So you have two sets of customers now. You have human travellers and you have Google. So luckily for us, everybody here in the room, you pretty well have to do the same thing for both to make both happy. So it's not too hard. And what we're seeing too with mobile, as Carolyn mentioned in her introduction, we've been preaching, Google's been preaching for the last 5 years that plan for mobile first, desktop second. Now, we've been saying this for the last few years, and I regret to say that many in the travel and tourism industry still don't have mobile websites. You know, that's just, again, there's no excuse for that sort of thing. Google's now telling us to prepare for voice search. So those who are still lagging, still talking about, you know, don't have the time to do a mobile site, they're just, I don't know if they'll be in business in 5 years' time. Things are moving so quickly. I'm quite serious when I say that. So machine learning plays a role in the personalisation, in the delivery of information that we're getting on the internet. So, and voice is a big part of that, and that's what today is all about. So again, it's great content that truly resonates with your customers, your potential travellers, is also going to make not just your travellers happy, but Google happy as well. So the thing is, I mean, I had been searching a lot about AI, so everything's predictive now, everything is presented, things that I might like to read, you know, and yeah, I did read that. I know this sort of stuff makes Carolyn cringe because she thinks the serendipity has been lost in Google search.
I think the US election shows the serendipity got lost a bit.
Yes. But, you know, it's all about hyper-personalisation, and that's where we are headed with all of this artificial intelligence and, yeah, all this, you know, it's following us. So here's some very simple things, and by the way, we've downloaded all of these presentations. You've got a USB stick that looks like a business card in your bag. So you've got all of these on that. So if you're writing madly, you know, these lists, you've got all this in your bag. So very simply, if you want to take this back to the office, thinking back the potential customer search query, you know, it's going to look at all those things about me, Bronwyn, and these are the things that you as a business at the very base, at a baseline, need to kind of think about. So being mobile optimized, having a very clear and distinct brand position, and Carolyn will talk more on that a bit later on. So if you have a very confusing brand, the algorithm, the Google will be confused too. If Google's confused, it's not going to present you in a search. It's not going to trust you enough to present you in a search, and that's what it boils down to. So you have to have really clear destination branding, business branding to perform well in a search. Create compelling content, post often as you possibly can. Again, thinking about, we've never been here, we're never going to be here again, we've never been here before. You know, this is a fabulous opportunity. A good variety of output. So thinking about not just talking about your business, your destination, giving the algorithms context. So if you're a destination, what's going on around you? If you're a hotel, when are the markets on? You know, if I'm a hotel that caters to family, what are some wet weather activities at the beach that I can take my kids to? So again, the more helpful you are and the more context you provide the search engines, the more you're likely to be presented. Linking all of your online activities. So this means your social media profiles, all of your websites, link them all together so that Google can pick up those signals. If somebody's sharing your content on Facebook, your Facebook profile is connected to your website, making sure that's all in order. It knows, you know, you're doing stuff, and that's kind of, you know, activity that it wants to see. Using natural language as well is really important. So yes, keywords are still important, but keywords come out naturally if you're writing to your brand and if you're writing to your customers. Geocoding too. Oop, I'll go back. So geocoding, if you're a destination, is also really important as well. So you'd be surprised at how many businesses there are that don't put their suburb on their website. Like, so for example, if I'm, you know, I live in Newtown, I'm looking for Newtown hairdressers. You know, sometimes they don't put the Newtown or suburbs around Newtown in their website. How's Google supposed to know? I mean, it will pick it up eventually, but you know, you've got to help the search engine as much as you possibly can.
And more importantly, if other hairdressers have done it and you haven't, who's going to come up first?
Yeah, exactly. It is. It's a race. And also your social media engagement and interaction is really, really important. So don't just keep posting stuff that's kind of, you're just posting and you're not getting any engagement. That will go against you eventually. Make sure you're posting really relevant. You know, you're better off if you've got 50 really truly engaged followers that love you than 1,000 that, you know, just ho-hum, don't really love you. So there's two key assumptions before you start any of this, before you start sort of gearing your marketing towards the artificial intelligence, the bots, the voice, all of those sorts of things. There's two things that have to be perfect and right before you even go on this journey. One, you need to be totally clear about who your customers are. Again, this is not new news, but it's more important than ever because you can't be all things to all people in the search engines. I mean, it's just good practice marketing anyway, just to create your personas and create your target markets and segments. Again, if you're confusing the search engines by talking about families one day and then couples and then groups, I mean, you've got to have a couple of different target markets, but they won't be able to figure you out and therefore won't present you. So, you know, you really need to figure your target markets out. The second one, as I mentioned before, you've got to be absolutely clear and tight in your branding. So important. And that's not just the logo, you know, we're talking about branding, consistency in your branding, the tone of voice, the visuals, everything needs to be fully consistent. The shapes, the colours, the logo, the types of language that you use throughout your blog posts and on your website copy, everything needs to be consistent. So you do need to do a little bit of work before you start down the true, I guess, marketing, tactical marketing path.
Everyone in my organisation is obsessed with the logo.
Of course.
That's the brand.
That's the brand. And because that's what they say, it's the logo. I know, we hear it, and it's your job to educate them. I'm sorry. I know. If anyone has tried, you girls have, I know. So, yeah, and unfortunately, you know, some of us in here, we're dealing with stakeholders that kind of are fairly limited in their marketing knowledge. It can be a fairly traumatic journey. But, you know, we're evidence-based marketers, remember? So, you know, you've got to say, well, this is the evidence. This is what true branding is all about. Now, other applications we're seeing in AI, so I've just talked about semantic search and the algorithms, how they crawl the internet now. And these are the things I'll be talking about a little bit later on. So I'll be covering off voice search and chatbots that are driven by artificial intelligence. And we're seeing really interesting startups. Has anyone seen Wayblazer? They're amazing. This is a new sort of AI chatbot startup. Brand new, uses AI to power travel search. It's specifically for travel, and this is how it kind of works. So you go in, again, if you look at the two sides, this is what I'm looking for here. I want a hotel in Florence, walking distance to sites, shopping, restaurants for me and my husband. So what the algorithms will figure out there is, okay, you want to be somewhere central, you want double or twin share, whatever's happening there. So it knows all that stuff. And then, you know, it sort of regurgitates. What this doesn't, I guess, tell you is that it probably knows a little bit about you already through, you know, Google, through what it's driven by. And it will collect more and more information on you along the way. So the next time you go away, it will know more about you. And your choices will get more and more refined. So it brings back, you know, some options for you from people like you. So again, it knows other people that have stayed in these places. And that's pretty well it. So I hope that's kind of covered off a topic that is quite intense.